Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video, and this video is going to be the start of a new series where I'm going to be sharing my thoughts for 5 cars that should be released in the Precision series, well, that should be made as Precision Series Diecasts. Now that the Precision series has wrapped up making cars from Radiator's Reigns, what's next? Well, some Cars 3 cars are what's next, and I'm assuming that we'll get some cars from Cars 1 and 2 as well along the line. Especially, and here's just a quick theory that I want to share, because if you look on some of the Precision series from this releases from this year, the card on the back of the card, the statistics now says nationality, American or whatever, and I'm assuming that may be done now so that they could release World Grand Prix cars in the future. I'm not quite sure, but I just wanted to share that thought with you guys. But basically, I have made a couple diagrams for each of these cars on what I think their features should be. Should they have a different face? What would they do? Etc. etc. So yeah, let's get started with the first car, which is the King. Now, the King, I'm going to say, is 100% likely, honestly, or 75%. Let's go with, I'm going to say the King is 75% likely. He's a very important character in the first movie, and just the Cars universe in total. But since we don't know where the Precision series is going, and when they'll come back to Cars 1 releases, I'd like to give the King a 75% chance of having a release. Now, I'd like to see him with an opening hood feature, something that I'm sure is guaranteed, rubber tires, which is always guaranteed, and a metal spoiler. Now, the reason why I say that is because usually, well, always the King spoiler is plastic, and it would be nice to see it as, instead of a plastic insert, a plastic piece molded in, a metal piece molded into his body. So yeah, a metal spoiler that is part of his model instead of a plastic insert. Now up next is Finn McMissile, again another car I'm sure that we'll get in the future. I'm also going to give him a 75% chance because, again, important character, but we don't know when they're going to release Cars 2 cars. So yeah, but I'm sure that he will be one of the ones they'll do, along with probably Francesco and some of the other WGP cars. So, yeah. Now, I'd like to see him with an opening trunk, honestly, just give it some variety, because quite often the cars in the Precision series have opening hoods, but sometimes they got opening trunks, so I decided to give Finn an opening trunk. Rubber tires, obviously, I forgot to mention that on his diagram, but rubber tires always. Even if I don't label that they have rubber tires, we'd know that they'd have rubber tires because all Precision series cars do include those. That's always a feature. I'd like to say he has clip-on weapons, as in the guns that pop out from the side, and I have an arrow pointing to that little area on his side, that little logo where the gun pops out. And if you guys remember, I think it was probably on a Lights and Sounds release, I think it was, where you could clip the weapons on to the side there. I'd like to see a very similar thing to that, where you could put the guns on and clip them onto that little side piece, or take them off. And maybe some other features he could have, like he could have some other extendable clip-on weapons. Well, not extendable. He could have some other clip-on weapons, like the bombs that attach to his tires, and yeah, and possibly even some ways to make him into the hydrofoil version of the submarine, but basically, I'm just saying he's going to have an opening trunk and clip-on weapons, rubber tires, and possibly extendable zip lines from that area where the zip lines come out. This is more of a hope and a dream than an actual likely feature, because I don't know how they'd pull that off, but I'd like to see zip lines that could, you pull them out and they could extend, and I really doubt that would be a feature. So yeah, I'm going with opening trunk, clip-on weapons, rubber tires, and possibly extendable zip lines. Now up next we have, this video is only 100% definitely going to get a release, in my opinion. That is Jackson Storm. I'd say he'd have an opening hood, hopefully, possibly a metal spoiler. I doubt it, honestly, but Storm spoiler does fall off easily. He'd have rubber tires, and this is my biggest hope with him, a Piston Cup Champion sticker. Really, really hoping that he would have that. Considering that the Precision Series crews we're getting is Precision Series Dynaco crews, and we've got a fabulous McQueen. It really would be nice to complete the set of releasing Cars 3 characters as they appear at the end of the movie, and having Jackson Storm his end of the movie accurate Piston Cup champion look without his rookie stripes would really be a nice way to kind of complete the set and make Storm match with the other Cars 3 releases. Even Mac is in his Cars 3 version, which is what he looks like at the end of the movie, compared to the Rusty's Racing Center look. Now, up next is probably the least likely. If you guys have seen my review of the Comic-Con exclusive McQueen and Shu Todoroki, then you'd know that I absolutely love those Disney cars that they released, those Disney Store cars, the Disney Store released back in the day, where they released the tuners with lights on the bottom. They would light up on the bottom, and it's just a really cool feature in my opinion. So here we have my idea for the tuners as light-up cars. Maybe they'd come with a building, or one of them would come with a building, or possibly even in a multi-pack. I'm not quite sure, honestly. That's why I really doubt these guys will come out. I'm going to give them a 50% chance, because I feel like someday we could get the tuners released, but not in this exact way. I doubt that they'd have light-up features. Now, my idea for all of them, and I just wrote one feature near each car, but really I want all of them to have light-up headlights, except for Snot Rod, and lights on the bottom. So I'm saying all of them could have lights on their undercarriage. They could all have lights there, and light-up headlights, and not Snot Rod. The reason why I say that is because I'd like Snot Rod to have like a light-up engine, how the little engine lights up on the inside. I thought that may be a cool feature, but it would probably really bulk up the engine, putting the battery there or whatever. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that. And they don't have opening trunk features. Well, they probably wouldn't, because the light-up cars never have opening trunks, because if you open their trunk or hood, they'd have a bunch of batteries and wires and cords in there. So yeah, and I did add an extra feature for Wingo. Removable shades. He has that like green shade, almost like a sunglasses that went over his eyes. I'd like to see that as a release, and that as a removable feature for Wingo that you could like clip onto his eyes. And I'd also like to see possibly a turning dial on the back of DJ. But that may be a bit too far, like the little knob he has on the back to change the music. So yeah, that may be a bit too far. And speaking of a bit too far, the last one for this video is probably the least likely. I'm still giving it a 50% chance because I really feel like it could happen. Mac. Now I know what you're probably saying. Mac already has a release in the Precision series as a single, and you'd be right. You'd be very right. But I'm talking bigger than that. I'm suggesting a release of the full Mac hauler. Now I used a picture of Cars 1 Mac here, but they'd probably release Cars 3 Mac. I prefer Cars 3 Mac. It would probably be easier to do Cars 3 Mac, but I just used a picture from Cars 1 Mac. And I'm saying he'd be more like a playset, and I'd say he has the same features as the the cab of Mac in the Precision series, moving hood, etc. Rubber tires. I'd say the door slides out like a normal Mac. And just like a playset, you could remove the roof to reveal a detailed interior. Now, I was thinking have the doors fold down, like on a lot of the Mac playsets, but then I realized that's kind of useless. Having the doors fold down would basically remove having all those details on the doors. Because most of the, well, not the doors, the sides, having the sides move down, sorry. Having the sides move down, the side walls, would remove all the possible detail on those side walls. Kind of make it pointless pulling down the side. Oh, hey, look, look at all this detail, the McQueen bobbleheads, the paintings and stuff on the side that I just pulled down to open up the hauler. So that's why I came with the decision of making a removable roof. Just like the playsets, and of course, on the inside, you could have either the Cars 1 one with all the McQueen bobbleheads, or the Cars 3 one, which I feel like is, again, more likely with Just the paintings of Willie's Butte and the photos of his friends, and maybe even a little area for Luigi and Guido to be behind that curtain so that they could start playing the music for McQueen in that one scene. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what ideas you guys have for Precision Series cars, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.